Twitter,
Oh, we're live on Twitter.
Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Okay.
Hey, 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 hey. We're live. Welcome, everybody, to the Berkeley Poetry Slam Quarantine Edition. My name is Reggie, and I will be your host on this magical journey of poetic brilliance and artistic beauty. Um, we have a wonderful lineup of performers and competitors tonight. We have an amazing feature. But before we begin, I always have to give a special shout out to the folks that make this show and other shows like it possible, our lovely patrons. Without our patrons on Patreon, this would not be possible to run 7 shows a month with 7 workshops in the middle of a pandemic, all virtually with no income. That would be wild. So like we really want to thank each and every one of you, because of your support. When we come back to having in-person shows, all of our shows are going to be free for performers. Thank you to every single person who helped us reach those goals. But I want to give some special shout out to a couple folks first. Want to give a special shout out to Renee Edmonds and Calla Lilly for your support. I also want to give a special shout out to Emily Chow, and a special shout out to Jessica Kozakic for sponsoring our workshop. And of course, last but certainly not least, I want to give a really special thank you to Alice Grimm and Sarah O'Connell for pledging $100 a month in support of one of our venues, the Allen Bluford Center for Justice, a necessary space in combating police brutality here in the Bay, while also providing great and enriching artist spaces for our local communities. If you would like to get involved and see more shows like this happen, you can head over to patreon.com/Rich Oak Events for more information on how you can get involved. But we're here for poetry. Yes, we are having a slam, and with slams, it's a competition, which means it has rules. First, for you sitting at home, open up your phone or your laptop or whatever you're watching us on and click like, subscribe, follow. You know the terminology on the internet, whatever social media platform you're spying on us from. Make sure you click that subscribe button, because what you don't want to do is miss our other 6 shows that we're going to be having this month. So you're going to want to stay tuned so you can see more live dope art. And on top of that, I want you to give maximum 1,000, 3,000% love to every single person that is coming in this slam tonight. It takes a lot of courage to spit your heart out to a room full of strangers, let alone a whole internet full of strangers. Like, that's wild. We would love to see your support in the comment section. Let us know how you feel. You know, if you like something, make noise. Let us know. I don't know about the rest of you folks, but I do look back in the comment section after the show, and it really warms my heart to see all of the nice things that y'all say about these poets. So please, please, please keep it up. Speaking of poets, y'all got rules too. First, no props, no costumes, no musical accompaniment, no nudity. Please, no nudity. This is a family show. You know, I ain't got kids, but you know, I got nieces, nephews. I don't know where they be at, but you know, they might be watching this.
No one consents to see your titties.
Thank you. No one consented to see your titties. Keep them away. For the duration of this show. Afterwards, you know, do what you want. I don't care. None of my business. I'm not gonna tell you what to do in your own home. But more important than keeping your titties away is the time limit. You got 3 minutes and 10 seconds. After 3 minutes and 10 seconds, there is a time penalty. Don't worry, judges. Our scorekeeper will take care of that. After 4 minutes, normally we like play you off stage with like, you know, subtle music, you know, all smooth and gentle like. It's a Zoom. We cannot do that. So unfortunately, it's gonna get as awkward as it can, because at 4 minutes, we're just gonna cut you off, and mute you. It's gonna be awkward for me. It's gonna be awkward for you. You're probably gonna hate me. I'm gonna hate the whole situation. We're all going to go home after this and cry a little bit. So please, don't hit that 4 minutes. But most importantly, have fun. We are here to see you perform, so do your best, have fun, and remember that the point is not the points, the point is the poetry. But speaking of points, we also have rules for these judges. You have the hardest job tonight because you have to put a numerical value on somebody else's feelings, which is weird, but you know, it gets people paid at the end of the night. So like, I'm not going to complain. But you have the hardest job. You got to score poets from a 0.0 to 10.0 scale. 0.0 being the worst thing you ever heard in your life. It's like waking up tomorrow and figuring out that the pandemic is not only not over, but it has gotten worse. So it's basically waking up tomorrow. And then on top of the pandemic, you step in dog shit, except it's like not outside your house, it's inside your house, and you don't even have a dog. So somebody came in your house and put dog shit right in front of your door just so you could walk out and step in it. It's just a bad day. It doesn't happen a lot. A 10, on the other hand, is like the best day ever. Like you wake up and not only is the pandemic magically over, but Trump isn't president. You found true love, and like not like that fake true love that's like, I love you, but it's really I'm codependent. No, this is like really like you're valued, you're trusted, like all of your baggage isn't even baggage because you don't have to worry about like cycles in your life repeating with this person. Is beautiful, everything that you asked for and more. Point being, there's not a lot of zeros and there's not a lot of tens. Score accordingly. There's this thing called score creep, where as the night goes on, and I don't know what y'all do at your house, but at my house, I drink, I might smoke a little bit. You know, this poetry starts sounding a little better as the night goes on. Don't do that shit. It's not fair for the people who went first in the show. So to combat that, we will have a sacrificial poet. They're not going to be competing, but you are going to score them like they are. And that's just to get you warmed up. Any poems you like more, score them higher. Any poems you don't like, score them a little bit lower. Lit. So we have our rules. Word of the day. Yeah. So here at the Berkeley Slam, we have a gimmick. Everyone calls it a tradition. It is a gimmick.
Ancestral gaslighting.
It is ancestral gaslighting if we're really gonna call it a tradition. But it's word of the day, where um we have poets jam a random word from the internet into their poem, for an extra point, and only one extra point, because this is capitalism and we're not going to give you what is fair pay for your labor. That's not what capitalism does. But our that cut too deep. Hold on. I said that and now I'm bleeding. I don't get paid enough for my work. But our word of the day is pediculous. It is in the chat for those who have not seen it before. I know I did not know this word until another motherfucker said it today. So you learn something new every day. Pediculous, it means infested with lice. So yeah, if you use pediculous, pediculace, pediculent, I don't know like the conjugations of pediculous. I'm pretty sure you can figure it out. Any variation of the word pediculous, you get an extra point. Once again, judges, you don't have to worry about that. That's going to be on our scorekeeper. Lit. So, are you all ready to hear who's going to be reading? Yeah, we got an order. Yeah, so the poets will be reading in this order. We have My, then we have Summertime, then we have Dog Days Are Over, then we have D Soul, then we have Diana, then we have Damani, then we have Imogen, then we have Nicole Tracy, and then we have Javi. Yeah, give it up for every single person who's going to be touching this stage tonight. Hey, all right. So that being said, like, are we ready to start the show? Woo! Ow! I'm gonna take that silence as a yes. Please don't ever take silence as a yes. Please check in with people. Like always check in with people when they're silent when you ask them questions. Except for when you're on Zoom.
We like to teach consent here at the Berkeley
Right.
Slam.
With Zoom you just gotta keep it pushing because nobody's gonna answer you. But we're ready to start the show. No, we're not. Of course we're not ready. We need our sacrificial poet, somebody to get these judges ready. So I need everybody to say, spill the blood.
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 Gang, and give maximum love for your sacrificial poet tonight, Tino.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, Tino.
This poem is called Even at a Kid's Party, I Can't Play Nice. To the ash, to the piñata that spells destruction, to all the petals I have shed before, to the bed picado that stretched over cardboard, to the candy that spills out, to the bolo, a rain of quarters, a blessings for prosperous pockets, the seam that threatens to undo itself, for the backhand of capitalism, to the candy, may it bring peace to your enamel, to all the bones that grow and wish to shine white. I swear fire will not be the end of us. We dance until the grief has nowhere to go. To the silence of blood, to the blood that rebels, for a family who is all femur instead of whole calavera, always second place to a white man's monument, to the white men who was made of monuments, who confettied our ashes at his parties, for all the looted silver, to the bodies of water they drain just to fetch more gold, to the land that is called mother, to the land of no children, trinkets and pockets, to loose change for a BART fare, for the body that controls its paper, to bleed color. There is a resting place for our souls too. All the breath we weave is sacred. To the labor of willing hands, to the givers, and those who receive with permission, to those who weaponize fire, to the riot in the marrow, to all the heads who will meet a guillotine, to the shower of blood, to the candy on the streets, and the rust in the rivers.
All right, give it up for your sacrificial poet, Tino. Woo! Gang, 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 gang,
Woo,
gang.
woo, woo.
All right, judges, you know what to do. Send your scores over to the Hip Hop Prophet. If you don't know who that is, if you're scrolling through your Zoom and you see the light-skinned dude standing behind a bottle of Seagrams, don't ask me how I know what a labelless bottle is holding. I just know things. That's what I do. I drink and know things. But yes, that was our sacrificial poet, judges. You are now experts. You are here. You are ready. You are able. You are willing. Poets, audience at home. I don't know about you, but like I'm kind of sick of this democratic process. So it's time to start yelling. Let us know what scores you want. Let us know what you see. Let us know if you fuck with the scores or if you don't. You know, we want to know your opinion, but be nice. Don't be mean. Judges, like I got your back. Like, don't be swayed by these audience. Like, they didn't get picked. They didn't get picked for nothing. Nothing. But we handcrafted the list of judges to be able to remark on this poetry in a professional. I don't even know what I'm saying, audience. Like, god damn, that was a lot of ad lib. But you know what we are here for? The poetry. And you know what you want. So, that being said, we got our sacrifice out of the way. We are ready to start this show. So, on deck, we have Summertime, but give maximum love to the first poet of the slam. Give it up for my.
Hi, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. My appendix imploded. vestigial blood and tissue spreading, dissolving, consuming. My trauma is my body's breaking point. An urn does not decide when it is filled with thick dust, is not given a choice to swallow death and not choke. Urn chokes. An urn is the aftermath of a light too bright, a heat too strong, a fire too thick. Burning used to provide warmth. Now it is a burial of this body. My body begins to burn and becomes an urn, so full of ash that I am no longer hungry. And my mind falls to my stomach, so full of dead memories that I can no longer think. Skinning jagged bone, wrapping my feet in it just so I can walk a little further. Survival has always been withering me away. I take every vestigial organ and boil it. Let the bacteria sterilize. Let the acid from wine evaporate, leaving only the sweetness in me. Boil my bones until they are soft enough to hold. So I take every vestigial organ and boil it. Turn my blood to steam and smoke it. Take the ash out and roll it. These lips are the mouthpiece of this ministry. The way I talk always seems to make sense to people, even when I don't think the words make sense together. These sermons of struggle only seem to get better. The harder I try, the more I share, the more I get out of recovery. I can make good use out of dead meat, pulling out charred tendons, crafting them into art, the only way I know how. I take my femurs, whittle them into a handle, press my fingernails into metal, thread my skin into a brush. My blood becomes thick paint, and I create a portrait of myself from myself. Thank you.
Keep that round of applause going for my and judges. Send those scores on down to Profit. And I'm just gonna read some of the comments. Blood to steam and smoke it. These biological bars. Hi, I am newly I'm not gonna read that one. But yes, thank you. And for reference, it looks like our sacrifice got a 25.6. Lit on deck. We have dog days are over, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up in the slam. Give it up for Summertime. Woo!
Hi, everyone. Is my mic working?
Yep.
Okay. This poem is called There Is Still Love Between the Lines. Between the words I never wrote, and heaven forbid between the infinite that I did. A love weighing the pauses and spaces with inconceivable pain. So potent, so poignant, so bitter. Love displaced onto he who left me unwanted. He whose attachment was threadbare spider silk while mine was a ball and chain. Stuck, by intention, in a loop of the past. Meanwhile, the present begs for my energy and attention, cries muffled by my stubborn heart. She is a sift, filtering the fine particles of true affection and watching them drift away helpless on the winds of a time that never stops, never slows down, never waits up. Love between lines of anger, heartache, and a lattice work of self-induced suffering. The hurt goes through phases and cycles. Waves of pain began to drown me until the air in my lungs was replaced by thick, dark waters. I later became numb and at peace, Forgiveness a shroud that hid the horrors of unresolved pain lurking around the corner. Pain that would bite unexpectedly. Small ripples foreboding, but never elucidating what would happen next. Soon breaching to the surface, gasping for air, I choked on my own self-pity. I swam between pains of past and future, somehow always missing the present, until I was buoyed by caprazazine. I'd never seen skies so clear, felt love for myself, and the warmth of the present sun until that moment. But then the pain returned, and though I wanted an end, I didn't know how to die. I had starved, I had gorged, I had drowned, and I had found salvation. But still, I could not die. No will could pull the trigger. My legs froze at the cliff's edge, and the wheel never veered into the oncoming goings of traffic. There was still love there, some tiny ember, between the lines of monotony that framed my day. The friends and the family I chose, and somehow a mode of my own. Some semblance of self-love begging for a breath of light. Just because I didn't know how to die didn't mean I couldn't live. There is still love between the lines.
Hey, give it up for summertime. Woo! Sorry about that delay. My computer just decided to like momentarily close Zoom and then reopen it. I was really confused, but I'm not anymore. Lit. Judges, send those scores. Send those scores into Profit. And for reference, let me make sure I look at that score right. Mine got a 25.4. Fuck the scores. Woo. Give it up for the poetry. Gang. Exactly. And lit. On deck. Let me look at this list again. I told y'all earlier I have the memory of a goldfish. On deck we have Diesel, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Dog Days Are Over.
To send a nude is to crawl out my own throat, is silencing every thought wave crashing around my oceanic limbs, naked and afraid of my own reflection, skin still unhinged in mirror, albeit gently, slowly blooming, mirror shard pieces piercing my skin, pulling and cutting flesh until I amalgamate into a chiseled statue, all tone and bone and edge. Brokenness now shatters until I am only dust. To send a nude is to share the linguistics of my epidermis that haven't seen sunlight in months, parts private to my lock box of a chest inside the heart of my mind. I crave his nectar, yet unspill my honey. He is all saccharine, yet I hesitate to unzip my petals to waterfall his filaments with my pollination of a body, and no wonder he grows frustrated at my stagnance. I've so much saccharin and even more reasons to hesitate hitting send. I think my skin unworthy of admiration. I live inside my head long enough to amnesia my sacrum. If sensuality is creativity, then I must have perfection. If sensuality is creativity, then I must have perfectionist writer's block. I'm all imperfect angle and insecurity, and still he drinks from my oasis body, quenched his thirst and emptying well, my mind a shattering dam. He awaits my oceans with expansive ribbon limbs, bundling my insecure into the shatter of my mirror shard throat, all glass, teeth sprouting from his well of an esophagus. To send a nude is becoming an appreciation for my skin broken by the introversion of my queer. I was wallflower, social nomads, sheltering myself from the intimacy of blood-warmed skin, how shape-shifting locker room boys struck pediculous fear into my hips, my eyes on theirs craving closeness with trembling palms, how shape-shifting cathedrals slithered their serpentine into my forbidden unfruition, my eyes on God, Bibles burning in my throat with stale wine and internalized homophobia, my Eucharist, a fragmented body, how shape-shifting lockboxes crawled their way into my throat, chokehold, mirror shard glass for fingernails. To send a nude is to make every mirror a self-portrait, to creativity my body into a frame for thirsting eyes to be desired, until I'm nothing but rose petals and honeyed milk pouring into the throat of my lover. I've yet to complete the panorama of my impatient portrait, each piece as a petal placed back into frame. To send a nude is the frame of my body, a mending mirror, fluid with nectarine saccharine as it witnesses itself, unthinking, unbleeding, smiling.
Yes, keep that applause going for Dog Days Are Over. Send your scores for Dog Days Are over to Profit. And for reference, Summertime got a 25 even. But again, it's not about the points, it's about the poetry. Speaking of poets, we've had like 3 poets. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I love what the fuck I'm hearing tonight. And when I like what I'm hearing, I personally like to make sure that it happens more. And there are ways that you at home can make sure that stuff like this keeps happening, and that is by donating. We are the Berkeley Slam. We are part of a larger organization called Rich Oak Events that runs also the Alchemy Open Mic and the Oakland Poetry Slam. It takes a lot to run 3 shows, especially between like 6 motherfuckers that also got like jobs and other shit that we do. So any monetary support that you give goes right back into making sure these shows run, making sure that we can do things like pay artists, pay our features, pay DJs and hosts and everyone who comes up. Things like helping us start with fundraisers. All the stuff that you see us do is all because of donations. People sitting at home loving and vibing with us, just like you. So there are multiple ways that you can give. Of course, you can always donate through Cash App. Rich Oak Events, hashtag Rich Oak Events. You can also hit up our Venmo at Berkeley Slam. And you can also hit up our PayPal, paypal.me/Berkeley Slam. We are part of an even larger organization, Bay Area Creative, which is a 501c3 nonprofit, meaning that all of your donations are in actual factual tax deductible. I'm not like, I don't know what's the word, like financially literate, so like I don't know what that means, but like people who donate money know what that means. So like if that means anything to you, yes, we are tax deductible. But most importantly, all of your donations go right back into running the community, running these spaces, making sure that we have the resources to continue providing live poetry to to like organizations and like kids and like youth and like communities that really need this art. So yeah, we'll have our donation links in the comment section for y'all. Lit. So on deck, we have Diana, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up on the slam. Give it up for D Soul. Woo!
Sweet. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. To the pediculous white boy at the frat party, that asks me why he can't say the word nigga when it comes on in a rap song. It's kind of like when my mom sees her friend for the first time in a real long time and they call each other bitch, as in our love for each other goes so deep it transcends this word's violence, as in our love so strong our tongues can negate this word's history. But if I ever called either one of them that word, I would have the shit knocked out of me in the quickest way possible. Dear white boy, if you ever say the N-word in a group of black people, you will have the shit knocked out of you in the quickest way possible. There's just some things you can't do. I learned that lesson from you. That your skin tells you what you can and can't do, where you can and can't be, what you can and can't say. When you say that word, my mind autocorrects the A ending to ER. You say nigga, and I hear a lynching in the background. Syllables that crack like a whip. Reminds me that white mouths have a habit of saying God when they mean oppression, promising salvation when they mean slavery, calling us boy when they mean nigger. To the same white boy who asks me to show him where it says he can't say it. It's not a law we have written down somewhere. It's just encoded in our DNA, I think, like housing discrimination, like gentrification, like poverty rates, like dropout rates, like incarceration rates, like black police brutality rates, like death. We've been keeping this word out of your mouths the same way you've taken everything else from us. Took Bantu knots and called them trendy like they ain't rooted in Atlantic trade. Took hip hop and called the appropriation colorblindness like all our melanin is meaningless when it is convenient. Took our neighborhoods and call it urban development like our dignity ain't worth nothing, but at least you know we can't afford be happy. A word is all we took back. Call it affirmative action, call it retribution, call it mercy. That we didn't pry this land we built from underneath your privileged feet, dear white boy. You don't like not being able to do something? Try being black in America. It is a lesson in restraint. It is a lesson in holding up your hands when you ain't done nothing wrong but existing. But being born in this black skin with this nappy hair with these brown eyes that won't stand down is a lesson in holding your breath when all you want to do is shout. These are the things I would have liked to say. But when white boy asks me why he can't say the word nigga, I don't reply. I fill another bottle with my inherited anger and bury under my tongue, because I have seen this wolf in another sheep's clothing. No, red hat look like Confederate flag, look like white hood, look like burning cross, look like black boy, always one wrong word away from heaven. And I'm not ready to be a martyr.
Let's
All
go.
right, give a round of applause for Diesel. Mentos Crunch literature. Yeah, and for reference, Dog Days are over. Got a 28.8. Legit. We are like halfway through this show, the first round, not through the show, but through the first round. So like lit, like definitely like that's lit. Like we are just chugging right through this show. Before we continue, I want to give a special shout out to our venue. We aren't always online. We weren't always online. We won't always be like completely online. We do have a home. The Starry Plow in Berkeley. Just want to say we love you. We miss y'all. Definitely. If you are able, especially if you're in the Bay Area and are able to make good on this, I know that they have gift cards that you can purchase online to support them. They also have a GoFundMe. We highly encourage y'all to go support that. Without venues like the Starry Plow, which have been in our community for decades, shows like us would not be able to exist and to run for as long as we have. The Berkeley Slam has been at the Starry Plow since its inception in 1998. So we have a legacy to continue. And the only way we're going to continue that is if we help out the Starry Plow, so that when this coronavirus shit is over, they're able to continue business in a way that is as efficient and less as least impacted as possible. So definitely go out to the Starry Plow, and I want to send my personal love to every single person that works there and that has helped keep that space running over the years. We love y'all. But yeah, moving on deck, we got Imogen. Or no, I'm sorry. On deck we have Damani. But give maximum love for the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Diana.
Woo! Hello. Okay, first of all, you all are amazing, and I'm so excited. So I'm gonna just jump into it. The poem is called Hypoxia, and you can all hear me, right? Can y'all hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Hypoxia. Cruel joke, you twist my windpipe around your dainty finger. I gurgle blood as I suffocate. Slowly, your grip loosens, just enough to seize the anoxia, but not enough for me to taste a free gasp of air. What if you knew the blood spilling was not blackberry juice? What if you knew my scars aren't makeup? I'm not taking advantage of you. I'm merely trying to live. If you believed me, would you release me, terrified of yourself? It's a cruel joke that I remind you of a painful past. You've hidden it deep like the rest of your trauma, because clearly the best way to deal with poison is to swallow it. My heart beats for you, but now only in fear, exasperation, anger. I know now that you do love me, but I so wish you didn't, so the word love wouldn't be so grossly tainted. You forced me to care, forced me against my will. My body was your puppet. You consumed me inside and out. What was even left? You erased me for all of those years, reminded me that the world wouldn't be as kind. You stole everything, even my pain. But that cruel world, just like you warned, taught me pain. It also taught me joy, kind love, failure, nervousness, and it taught me me. It wrote me faster than you could destroy me, while I wrote it. You won't understand. Your world consists of nothing but your dainty finger, while mine is falling apart, destroyed by people like you, and unsalvageable by people like me. But to breathe freely and watch that shockwave approaching, knowing there is something to destroy where I stand, knowing that I'm not empty space, not neutral, but a fighter for what the world should be, a dreamer for what it could be. No, you may never understand. And I feel sorry for the both of us.
Yes, give a round of applause for Diana.
Thank you.
Lit. Send those scores over to Prophet. Lit. And for reference, after the word of the day bonus, we have a 30 for D Soul.
Wow.
Lit. Liniment Toast Crunch. We're gonna move it right along on deck. We have Imogen, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up in the slam. Give it up for Damani.
Woo!
Bonnie.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm thinking about a street as long as my memory, black and named after some dead thing. I'm thinking about my city from an aerial view. Pediculous poverty can swallow you whole. Redlining will lick the plate clean. Through all of this, my mother still wants me home. I'm stuck in between gentrifying and being disappeared. For Oscar Grant, for Neil Wilson, I pray your trip be safe since your BART ride wasn't. The trip isn't safe. The buses don't run on time. Uber and Lyft have backdoor agreements with dynamite and wealthy businessmen hungry for land. I heard everyone's leaving a city no one wanted. White flight happened some years ago. I guess the season finally changed and the birds are finally back from south of the suburbs. If we can't afford to live in the cities we made popular, and every other place is home to Klan, or a sundown town, or a militia of some violence, then where do we go? There isn't a night in Oakland that isn't both ominous and alive. Like I could die at any moment and will somehow come back tomorrow. I have a theory that pour one out for the dead homie is just hood niggas alchemy, a way of saying I bottled blood, sweat, and memory, and now I'm putting you back. I'm wondering what a city free of violence looks like. I'm thinking about maroonage, slaves building whole communities in the dirtiest of conditions. Our swamps ancestral ghettos. Did we inherit the ability to feed a family off shit, scraps, and leftovers? On the question of Black death, I've seen niggas ooze onto the concrete. I've seen niggas pour one out for the dead homies. On the question of Black magic, I've seen niggas pour bodies back into bodies. I've seen a Black girl make it home. I'm tired all the time, but still find the energy to hop the turnstile. Mass transit was supposed to be a cheap way to work. This ain't gonna work. This going to work thing, if I go broke going to work. Someone said they've taken more from us than we could ever loot. I ride by Fruitvale and think this place has more culture in its pinky than white supremacy has in its bank account. And after all of this, I still ride down Telegraph, East 14th, and want hyphy back. I want love songs that never end. I want late nights and good news in the morning. I want to ride into the sunset where I'm not running from a burning home.
All right, give it up
My
for
lord.
Damani.
That was lit.
Lit. Prophet, did you send me that last score? Send me that score, Prophet. I don't think I got it. Yeah, I guess while we're waiting on that score, let me tell you about some other stuff we got going on. Never mind. I'm so glad I didn't have to stall because I had nothing. Oh, I do have something. Yeah. We have a writing workshop every Wednesday before the show. You should like go. It's gonna be great. We every week, we have like our out of town feature, like do a workshop. It's a great space to write. And on top of that, like if you sign up and then go to the workshop, like you have a poem. You don't have to worry about not having a poem. So you should come to our workshops. It's really great. It's really fun. And it's a great way to share community with other writers and get some time dedicated to your craft, to your crafts, to your craft. I don't know. Craft makes me feel British, even though the only craft I know is American cheese. But yeah, our last poet, Diana, got a 23.7. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry. Yeah, scores don't matter. It's all about, the work that is brought, and everybody has been amazing, and everybody is going to continue to be amazing because on deck we got Nicole Tracy, but give maximum love to our next poet coming up in the slam. Give it up for Imogen.
Woo! Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. So this is called Divisions. In a panic over BLM gaining popularity, orgs kidnap dark-skinned icons to shield from critique for lack of diversity. A somber token is the new blackface. Repeated refrains of black and brown, thick and cosmetic rearrangement, empty of structural dismantling, bruises the movement toward equality, black and blue, while the wound stays raw as discontented pustules form. Heated from gushing, repressed anguish, too long muzzled from airing, blister from unaddressed abscesses, gurgling their vomit onto approaching allies, burned to dwindle camaraderie. Accused of gleeful gawking or advantage taking from the long-nursed suspicions of an aggrieved audience, accustomed more to abandonment than scabbed yet sinewed outstretched arms, seeking linkage to weave an indestructible defense. Yet would-be leaders with charge of dressing wayward injuries rush to lay salve on personal sore egos while plunging a wedging pitchfork to appease a furious mob encircling, searching for scapegoats to satiate fervor, to release pent-up grievances, in want of justice as true criminals obscure their pediculous culpability under the sweet nothings of flowery pleasantries.
Yes. All right. Give it up for Emogen.
Woo!
Yes. Judges, send your scores on over to Prophet. I mean, I don't have to tell you. Y'all know what to do. Like, y'all been on time. I don't know what to tell you. And for reference, the last poet, Damani, got a 29.5. Lit. We have almost reached the end of the first round, because on deck we have our last poet of the first round, Hobby, but give maximum love to the penultimate poet of the first round. Penultimate. I've been informed that means second to last. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a dictionary. But give it up for our next poet, Nicole Tracy.
Woo!
Gangity gang.
Mic check.
I hear you.
Check mic.
Origin story of my relationship to my body. Observation 1. I do not look like my mother. We both have dark hair, but it is so different. Hers is always down, straightened, flat. Mine, a mess, evidence of a 6-year-old playground adventure. Thank goodness I never had pediculus. My hair braided or put in pigtails anytime my grandmother can get her hands on it. I don't mind because I know it makes her happy. Hypothesis. If you let your grandmother do your hair, then you will make her happy. Question. Is this because she misses helping her children? Observation 2. I do not remember my father before I was 5. I know we looked similar as children, but grew apart. I even mistook photos of us when we were both small. I grew up and do not recognize either child in these photos. I wonder now if this is history warning me. Hypothesis. If you keep your children at a distance, then you will grow apart. Question. Is there a way to prevent family history from repeating itself? Observation 3. None of my dolls looked like me. Barbie, all long legs, dainty and feminine. I loved my skin knees and loose teeth until then. She was meant to be timeless. Smiles, silent, ageless, an aspiration for girls to grow into. Her favorite activity, going shopping. I wonder how Barbie earned her money. Ken was never around, so maybe she was just a trophy wife. I never wanted to be just beautiful smiles and silence. Hypothesis. If girls are supposed to love their dolls, then we are not meant to love what makes us different from her. Question. Is Barbie why I hate traditionally feminine things? Observation 4. I spend an absurd amount of time in front of mirrors until it is no longer a body looking back at me. It is feet tired of breaking in shoes, legs forcing a turnout on a bruised knee, begging for a break. I forget I am not just pieces needing to be perfected. Hypothesis. If I forget what makes me myself, then it is easier to change into who I should be. Question. How long will I blame myself for being afraid to change? Observation 5. I keep being told I'm sexy for my body. I am made to be the target. I must always be defensive to protect myself. But I think somewhere along the way I forgot, and now I'm against myself too. Mirrors from observation 4 show me what makes me a target and what needs perfecting. I do not feel like myself and must make myself disappear. Hypothesis. If I do not feel like myself, then I can pretend this hurts someone else. Question. If I was shown what made me the target, is it still my fault when violence is inflicted? Observation 6. I still remember where every hand was every time I said no. I wonder if I will ever forget where bruises were. Instead, I distract my mind, put permanent ink over faded pain. Sleeping through the night is something I will never not be thankful for anymore. I have to tell every intimate partner why I burst into tears for things they do not know. Hypothesis. If healing is a process, then sometimes I will write in past, present, and future tenses, and all of these are true. Answer. Yes, some days are easy and some are hard, but it doesn't mean I have survived any less.
Word. Yes. Give it up for Nicole. Oh my goodness. Yes. Judges, you know what to do. I don't even have to give you the instructions. Y'all been on point. For reference, Imogen got a, let me make sure that score is right, a 24.4. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet and the poetry. Yes. And on deck we got our feature, Gigi Bella. I don't know. I don't know if you're ready for this feature. I made sure to pin my wig down and slick back my edges before this. If you don't know who Gigi is, you finna learn today, but that's on deck. But I need y'all to give maximum love to our last poet of the first round. Give it up for Hobby.
Can people hear me?
Correct.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I've been thinking a lot about the phrase body shaming, and it just like, the phrase just doesn't make sense to me, mostly because the words body and shame are opposites. Shame coming from the Proto-Indo-European schem or chem, meaning to cover, and body being a vessel of defiance. The action of our wet bones, wet in both how blood and how bloodied we make our closets. Those quiet homes we hide our shame in. Wait, no. Shame is not a tangible mortuary of every time we forgot we were here. That's what a body is. Shame is learning to throw your voice so everything you hate about yourself keeps someone else awake at night, and body is the night. No, wait, a body is the moon during daylight and shame is the daylight. I mean, shame makes the body easier to hide, but the moon, how can you possibly cover something like that? No, I'm asking, how can you cover a body? How can you shame the vessel? You turn 12 is how. Or 13, whichever age the mirror starts to stare back. I recently saw a picture of myself from a couple of years ago, and my first thought was, God, they were so thin. And it's interesting how we learn to love ourselves by how little space we can take up. I know existing is a permissionless deed, but why does it feel like I got handed the keys to a house without any of the doors open? The termites in the walls sound more like me than the furniture does, a pediculous haunting, a terrible itch too deep not to kill yourself over. Some days I am the thing crawling under my skin, and others I am my skin. In either way, I am wearing myself. What a shameful act to exist. I wish it wasn't so heavy. You take a brown boy and squeeze him of his worst and ask him how to peel a fruit without getting his hands sticky. It's a trick. Sun-dried faggot can't skim himself without bright red syrup staining the sheets, not brown, not boy, not straight, so full of knots. How do you ever hold anything down? No, I'm asking How do you love that? I'm glad you asked. Maybe I love myself in spite. Does my being here make you uncomfortable? Good. If my dad left me anything worth its salt, it's that you can love what does not want your love. Some days I am unthinkable. The sun's defiant glow even in eclipse, and other days I'm not. Either way, I'm still here. I'm tired of being told that self-love is some destination, like the pinnacle of healing is being in a constant state of bubble baths. You don't just wake up in love with the thing that brought you here, but you do in long enough bursts to call it progress. The body is a shameful continuation of all the shit you've done wrong, but hey, it's working. Self-love is saying, I have hurt myself, and there is a very good chance I may hurt myself again, but I am here despite me and because of me. And I just can't see any shame in that. Thank
I was hella muted. Give it up for Javi. Woo!
Woo!
Yes. And this hurts my heart, like my entire ass heart. After a 2.6 time penalty.
Fuck the time penalty with consent.
Boo.
Nicole got a 27.4. Everybody say fuck linear time.
Fuck linear time.
Fuck linear time.
Fuck linear time.
Like, time does not exist. Someone had to tell me it was Wednesday because I was going to, like, bet I was not going to be here if nobody told me it was Wednesday. So, like, legitimately, fuck linear time. Fuck the time penalty, but, you know, rules or whatever. Lit. I'm so excited. Because, let me see if I can get this last score before I start talking about that feature and forget about it. Profit. Do I got? And then Javi got a 29.5 after that word of the day bonus. Lit. Now I can talk about the feature. Our feature is Gigi Bella. I don't know if you know, but Gigi Bella is probably one of the most talented people I've ever met. Also one of the flyest people I've ever met. But that doesn't do her work justice. So I'm going to read her bio, which also does not like do her work justice because she's so much better than this bio. And this bio is really fucking great. Gigi Bella has been ranked the 10th women poet in the world. The two-time, not once, but twice, the two-time Project X Bronx Poetry Champion, as well as can confirm a literal mermaid. She is also a Pink Door Fellow, a National Poetry Slam semifinalist and champion. She has been featured on stages with Andrea Gibson, Sabrina Benaim, Olivia Gatwood, and many others. Her chapbook, Weird Things, was featured on the Instagram of pop singer-songwriter Sarah Bareilles. I don't know if you know that, but she's not going to write you a love song, but she's going to make an Instagram post about this chapbook. Her other work is featured on Button Poetry, Slam Find, and in a variety of literary magazines. Her book, Big Feelings, is available through Game Over Books and has been recommended by Small Press Distribution. I want you to give the loudest, the most welcoming round of applause for your feature tonight, Gigi Bella.
Hi. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I just like ran around in a circle in my little office here to try to make some adjustments because my fancy sound equipment didn't want to work. So we're just with the old standbys here, oldies but goodies. That being said, can everybody hear me okay? Can somebody give me a thumbs up that they can hear me? And then it's all good. Okay, cool. Cool. This will work. I just had to check. All right. Yeah, this light is also not doing me any justice because it's late here. I'm in New Mexico. What up? Albuquerque. Got a little, it's Halloween already, in case you didn't know. I've decreed it. It's happening. So Bing Bang Boom, I'm so excited to feature with y'all tonight. I just had a book that came out. This is her. This is my bitch. Big Feelings. So I'm going to be reading some poetry from Big Feelings, and then I'm a musical theater nerd, so we're going to get down on some original music as well, but we'll talk about that later. First things first, I'm going to do a poem about being a hoe, because that's just how I feel right now. I have a boyfriend. I don't feel like a hoe. Sorry. I feel like a hoe, you know, low key though. Okay, anyway.
Both truths can exist.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I never learned to do a man dirty. Soft, blurry femme, feelings asshole, like damn boy, I am really out here scamming you into matching my advanced level of emotional intelligence, even scam my way into a room, inside of a mansion, inside of your heart, a different man in my bed every night, which is to say only you, because you contain multitudes on some Walt Whitman ass shit. Boy, you crazy, waxing and waning over you until I am only tamale husk, too empty to become just yet, knowing everything I could be without you, which is to say I want to be a hoe. Icy, spicy, chola eyeliner ass shit, booty pop, and good titty jiggle lingerie photos in the DMs of every name that has ever graced my catalog of crushes. Call my cleavage sanctuary, Sistine Chapel of double D's, the curve of my two big hips, ass like Khaleesi emerging from the fire. That's right, my ass is the fucking mother of dragons. My ass is the Iron Throne. My ass murdered everybody so it could rule over Westeros because it was destiny or some shit. And don't even get me started on my pussy. My pussy, a golf tournament. Lots of white men get excited about it, but when they get there, in my opinion, nothing exciting really happens, and I am miserable the entire time. My pussy, a 24/7 Denny's. Grand Slam, bitch, got that good grease. Always here for you, always delicious, always $12.99 or less. My pussy, Palo Santo. Praying to a pink puckered God, asking if anybody will ever deserve me like I do. You desecrate the holy of me. Right on the walls of my church, I try so hard to be a jagged edge, pocket knife crucifix, black lipstick with Cardi and SZA in the background. Brujeria bad bitch vanished in a soft smoke spiral, leaving you on red. Selfies and snaps who could send gods to early graves. Indiana Jones in the thirst trap of the covenant. Lap me up, boy. Drown in all your sorry and endless look back at your loss. You will never forget the good goddess who turned you to salt again and again. Kneel at the altar of all that I taught you. Stitch your lips together. Unplagiarize that learned love. Let no sad, sloppy second eat from the garden I grew. Only bitter fruit and reckoning for your sin. Only cold burnt breakfast and almost orgasm. From now on, home means that I am still here without you. Still bad, still bougie and breathing. Still bending over for my own damn self. Home means whole, someone who can say your name and make you vanish until the whole world forgets that you were ever here in the first place. That's my whole poem. I just kind of felt like doing the whole poem. I got invited to read at the George R. R. Martin bookstore when I had the book coming out, and then the pandemic happened and it still happened. It was all virtual or whatever. And I had to go up to Santa Fe and sign the books and stuff. And I had to record a set for them, like to do it virtually. And I just couldn't bring myself, to do that poem for little old George, unfortunately. But, I really wanted him to hear the Khaleesi line. It was just important to me. But I can confirm that he did read Big Feelings and he did enjoy it and he did put it in the window. So George R. R. Martin knows about my ex-boyfriends. What up? Cool. So yeah, I was taking a break today. And by taking a break, I mean, I had put in the chat earlier, sorry for making it awkward, Reggie. I didn't mean to, but I had put in the chat earlier that I'm recently chronically ill and dealing with a lot of stuff with my body. So when I say taking a break, what I mean is playing 7 hours of doctor and then eventually just making like 12 submissions. So I was going through all my old shit to make some submissions and decided that I wanted to read an old poem because I've been reading all the poems from the book everywhere. Speaking of the book, I saw somebody pop up in the chat. You can get the book on gameoverbooks.com. I will also pop that in the chat when the feature is over, but the press is Game Over Books, and she actually was a small press distribution bestseller recently. So yeah, pick yours up today. I feel like a car salesman. Blech. Okay. Anyway, this is an old poem. It's from a chapbook that I wrote about Ariana Grande's album Sweetener, and particularly her dating Pete Davidson, and it's a long story. But yeah, this is Ode to Ariana Grande's Thank You Next. Pop hook gospel choir of the Get Free, personification of glitter cry and get through and get the fuck back up again. Better bad bitch. More Elle Woods than ever. Bend and snap the past in half. Hold all the power in my French tip fists. Heartbreak has shattered this glass prism perfume bottle heart again and again, only proving that there are gardens full inside me. Boombox all of this broken. Rom-com rebirth mixtape from my own hand to the other. Wallpaper this femme heart into teen girl bedroom. Kirsten Dunst dance party, so moved by the spirit of my own hot pink holy. I am a chorus of bed jumps, mattress spring heartbeat, tender truth and juicy couture. Oh God, my joy is a banger. Portrait of self-love as a billboard #1. Get butterflies when I see myself in the mirror, brushing my teeth. Kris Jenner camera in hand, my own cheerleader while I Mean Girls talent show ho. I am doing so fucking great, sweetie. Watch me First Wives Club through my tears. Giggle at my ghosts, my healing. A Madonna track heard through a closet door. Dream house, razzle red tongue, big time magazine editor, tough bitch, choreograph my comeback, bop through all my breaking, still just as dangerous woman, ready for the better discussions, a love that never leaves. I thank you next, my Hello Kitty Band-Aid heart. Move into a new one where there are magazine collages on the walls. Overabundance of dreams I learned from the movies. There is no denying I have survived it all. All I do is glow and sing and dance. All I do is dance. So yeah, ekphrasis is really important to me. You can absolutely make ekphrasis. Ekphrastic poems are poems that are after art, usually after like paintings and things in museums. So I like doing ekphrasis after pop culture. They're really important little poems to me. So that's why I have poems about like Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson and whatever, even though I'm like a sad little Mexican skeleton in my house. So yeah. I'm going to read a poem from the book now. This next poem, if you're in the workshop, I was talking about writing something I was kind of ashamed of. And yeah, that is this. This is a poem about a bad thing I did in the 7th grade. It's called I Say I Have Never Climbed a Tree Before. I say I have never climbed a tree before, and I haven't. Never was a monkey bar, jungle gym, fortress of upper body strength. Not the pretty friend, just the gateway friend, helping boys put Zots in Casey Klingman's mouth during drama class. Holly Fedor's 7th grade wingman, our entire class lined up to Sadie Hawkins her while she stayed late to girl giggle at Mr. Lytle. It was a Wednesday in 7th period, and we were watching Osmosis Jones, and Garrett was walking toward my desk. And anyway, he asked me if I wanted to go out with his best friend Liam, and I said yes, because he was tall, and we laughed in biology once over dead cats, and I liked that. And Liam kissed me by the portables once, and I never forgot it, because every kiss before it was bad. And I was like 14, and we held hands on the way to gym class. He told me his brother was sick. Like the sad kind of sick. His mom was sleepless and wailing. He came back from the weekend on crutches. Broken leg, straight line for a mouth, and the bruja in me felt like all my bad, ugly, haunted was making bad things happen to him. Original ghost. I stopped talking to him at passing period. Walking further ahead, he was on crutches, so I knew he couldn't catch me. Tried to ignore the Christmas present he left in my locker, a small leather purse filled with what I can only assume was the rest of his allowance. When the cast finally came off, he caught up. It just told him that I didn't want to be his girlfriend anymore, and that wasn't the truth. I just thought he would think I was stupid for trying to save him from every stupid bad thing, and I have never climbed a tree. The only way to get back down is to fall, break a bone, and I feel like nobody saves the sidekick, queen of not cool, too soft for her own good. I feel like falling is all I know. Like trying to save everyone is a serious mission I was never assigned. Like if I never climb, maybe I'll save myself instead. So yeah, wherever you are, sir, I'm really sorry that I traumatized you in the 7th grade. That's completely and totally my fault. So yeah, I was putting this book back, but I actually still need it. So I haven't changed. That's really all that is. I'm still awkward and sad, and I still do bad things. Lit. Awesome. I am very queer and I am very Mexican, and all of that means that I love Selena. That's really what it means. I'm really bummed out because we were gonna go see Selena at the drive-in for my mom's birthday, but there's like all these rules and it's like 100 degrees here and they want the windows rolled up. Anyway, I'm gonna read a fucking poem about Selena because that's where we're at. So this is about this one time I did karaoke in Brooklyn. Lessons I learned from Selena. I sing como la flor at karaoke, and this is no longer a saloon in Brooklyn. The crowd sings along with all the Spanish words they don't really know. My t-shirt turns pearl-smattered bustier, and I become a Grammy award-winning bellow. Ay, como me duele. Lessons I learned from Selena. 1. If you leave a chicken in the house, there will be caca everywhere. 2, always eat an entire medium pizza by yourself. 3, when the white boutique women won't sell you any clothes, make your own. Start a busti caca runway revolution, bedazzle until your brown is so loud you could sew it into a dress. Tell them you won't be needing theirs after all. 4, God bless the holiness that is purple disco jumpsuit ass. Bless the brown girl butt. Bless all of its cumbia and washing machine hips. Praise its curves and peaks. Revolve around it. They call it the moon for a reason. 5, love is the red runaway car. It is the holster of hot sauce and the 12-second kiss. Sometimes it is a trashed hotel room and an angry father. Sometimes it is a mother's acrylic nails running through your hair. Sometimes you have to sing about all of its hurt. 6, sometimes when brown is not brown enough, when the world expects you to be double-tongued and ideal Latina, you make them love you anyway. You Spanglish your way into a smile. You show them what a Spanish song sounds like coming out of your mouth. 7, after the death of Selena, candles were lit all over the world while her music blasted through car windows. Howard Stern played her songs under the sound of open fire, calling them tasteless and weak. This is nothing new. There will always be white men trying to silence us with their bullets. There will always be bullets. 8, all I can think is that we are the same age, that all the brown girl stories I know end in accidents or early death. My mother sings Linda Ronstadt from the kitchen, while my grandmother is Frida Kahlo molded into hospital bed, and we are surviving, and we are alive. Like the bus wreck that did not kill Gloria Estefan, like the rhythm that will not get us, the history that will not repeat. Como la flor, we will never die, despite the lies that pay for guns over counters, despite a world that only names us legends after we are gone. We will sing love songs to ourselves until the whole world can't help but sing along with our every emotion, even our deepest hurt. Como la flor, con tanto amor, me diste tú, se marchito, me marchó y Dios sé perder, pero ay, como me duele. Sing it in your house. Ay, como me duele. That's my favorite. I love that poem. Is it okay to say you love your own work? Fuck it. I love that poem. It's in Big Feelings. This is my book. It's very Mexican. It's very feely. It has my ex-boyfriend's names in it if you just want tea. It has everything, really. So yeah, check it out. It's very femme. It's very queer. It's very pop culture. I'm very proud of it. And you should pick it up, gameoverbooks.com. is a good place. They have signed copies on the George R. R. Martin bookstore website because I marched my ass to Santa Fe to go sign them. So that was cool. You can get them there from George. Yeah. So I'm going to read a poem that I wrote for quarantine. It's another ekphrastic poem. I watched the movie Palm Springs on Hulu with Andy Samberg and Kristen Milioti, and it's like a Groundhog's Day type situation, and I'm really fascinated with time loops. And yeah, I think that living in the pandemic is kind of like living in the time loop a lot of times. So this is a poem after Palm Springs, and it's about being quarantined with someone. So I frequently do sets with my boyfriend, who's a radio DJ and a comedian, and we have joint work that we do. He was sick and a little tired, and I took this gig by myself, which was kind of nice, but I love performing with him too. But we live together and we're quarantined together, and it's a lot sometimes. So we just had our 1 year anniversary, and this is kind of a poem about all of those feelings that were in my head. Maybe we keep waking up in the same day, nameless and unassuming. Melatonin sleep in drool-dried pillows, or the soft jelloed hours when we are awake. A melted magma disco ball, like dancing when you're too drunk to dance, or time just being time. I maybe remember a little of yesterday, or your mom joke from the day before. Here we are in this house. The occasional walk to the post office. Maybe we put on real pants tomorrow, work on the books we will never read, the movie we will write and shoot and star in, all in the safety of our own backyard. It could be like Boyhood or something if we work on it every day. Maybe we will perfect the wild, stupid handshake, create a TikTok dance so fresh it keeps the teens endlessly shooketh. Maybe we map the galaxy of our bodies, all dimple and freckle and quiver, sex dripped with sex. We see the dinosaurs tomorrow. Hold hands in a stupor of what if. What are the odds of being alive during a pandemic? What are the odds of staying alive? I am already sick of you. And can I tell you, it is my favorite part to live through. If I could choose any way to go, it is this one, tangled in laughter, even when I can't get the aftertaste of sadness out of my mouth into the chlorine pool of you, until you can't see if I am mourning or just blinking really hard underwater, trying to see my way clear, floating in your odd forever on a plastic vinyl pizza slice floaty to nowhere. I don't know how we make it out of here, waking and wondering when we get to have a tomorrow, if this is just a historical thing we will tell our kids about someday, how different we will be when it's all finally over. Sometimes I want to get out of this day. Other times I beg to keep waking up. These days, I only stay up at night to chill with my deep longing. All I know is I want to see you tomorrow, whatever that looks like. So that's my Palm Springs poem. Yay. All right, friends, our time together is coming to an end. And I think it's only fitting that we end it with a weirdo grand finale. So if you've never seen one of these before, this is an omnichord. It's basically a weird toy that makes cool sounds. And I'm gonna sing you a song because why not? This song is called Big Feelings, affectionately like the book. I will put the website in the chat to pick up my book. Thank you so much for having me. Stay safe out in this pandemic. Love yourself, sing songs, write poetry, do what you gotta do. This one's for you. All of you out there who have big feelings, you can have big feelings for other people, but the biggest feeling has to be for you. It's been a week and I'm already calling you my boyfriend. We said I love you before we even made it to the weekend. And I'm glad you think I'm sweet, even though we did just meet. I am feeling so complete, or maybe psychotic. Is it wrong for me to be so myself entirely? Feel it all so blatantly, or am I psychotic? 'Cause I got big feelings that I can't deny. Yeah, I love you in the morning, and tonight I'll probably cry. I am the ocean and the tide is so high. Yeah, I got big feelings, so just kiss me and we'll be alright. My biggest fear is scaring you away until you let go. But last night I asked you if we could get matching tattoos on our elbows. And oh my God, I think you're sweet, even though we did just meet. I am feeling so complete, or am I psychotic? Is it wrong for me to be so in love entirely? Feel it all so blatantly, or am I psychotic? 'Cause I got big feelings that I can't deny. Yeah, I love you in the morning, and tonight I'll probably cry. I am the ocean and the tide is so high. Yeah, I got big feelings, so just kiss me and we'll be alright. And I'm pretty sure you are where my heart's map ends. I don't really know how this kind of thing happens. I won't question it, I just wanna feel fireflies in my chest. I won't question it, I feel so alive when I usually feel dead. Maybe I feel too big, but my feels are real. So let's just live in it and have too much to feel. 'Cause I got big feelings that I can't deny. Yeah, I love you in the morning, and tonight I'll love you till I cry. I am the ocean, watch you ride in the tide. Yeah, I got big feelings, so just kiss me and we'll be alright. Thank you so much. I'm Gigi Bella. You can follow me at Gigi Bella G. Big Feelings, Game Over Books. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you for the beautiful work.
Oh my God, thank you. Was Gigi Bella, everybody. Oh my goodness. Like, what? Like, I'm shooketh. I think that's the word, the correct word, shooketh. Shaken, not stirred like a James Bond drink. If you two were shaken and not stirred by that amazing feature, I highly suggest that you cop her book Big Feelings from Game Over Press. Like, you should definitely, like, I don't know how much to say. Reading is important. I can't read, so you got to buy the book and read it for me. Did you say okay, J. Cole? Mm-hmm. Leave. At my own house. Like, do you see how I'm getting treated in my own home? This is ridiculous, you know. Damn, where can Black people find some respect in this damn country? But y'all are not here to see me complain. Y'all are here for more poetry. Normally we have a break. We're gonna breeze right through it because, like, what is 5 minutes on Zoom anyway? So we took the top 6 people, and they will be appearing in reverse order of appearance from the last round. So here is our order for round 2. We have Javi, then we got Nicole, then we have Damani, then we have D-Soul, then we have Dog Days Are Over, and then we have Mai. If you didn't make it to the second round, I'm sorry, you know, points are points, fuck them. Please come back next week, though. We have a show every week. So if you didn't make it this week, you have another chance next week, and you have another chance after that, and after that, and after that, and after that. And we will be going until the end of time. So there will always be more chances to perform poetry. So you should definitely sign up. If you heard anything you liked at home and you feel inspired, we have another show coming up next week, so you should definitely do that and sign up and join us. But before we begin round 2, we need another sacrificial poet. Yeah, it's been like, you know, we had a little feature, we had, you know, a round of poetry. We can pretend we had a break to justify this But yeah, we have another sacrificial poet trying to get y'all ready. Y'all know what to do, judges. So give it up for your sacrificial poet, Reggie. I'm back. Please excuse me while I find the. Here we go. You got this. I'm looking for this poem. Please bear with me. I was not prepared. Redacted is an unsavory word. I know this to be true because definitions for redacted include the darkest color, the absence of all light, deeply stained with dirt, evil, and the opposite of white. So by definition, redacted people must also be an unsavory group. And if redacted is the opposite of white, then it must also be the opposite of innocent, meaning redacted boy must always be considered guilty until proven dead, until he becomes absent of all light and still. White folks don't understand why the redacted don't advocate for all people. Don't understand that some people never have to worry about their humanity being ripped away, and redacted boy knows erasure very well, knows how to present his redacted skin in a way that makes white people feel comfortable. Redacted boy knows that even white comfort can mean redacted danger if he's not careful enough. Like another redacted boy is shot dead by white cops, and redacted people carry a riot on redacted tongues until redacted freedom becomes something other than a redacted dream, the redacted hope of every redacted child buried by redacted mother too soon. Redacted boy complains and is told to pull himself up by his bootstraps until he forgets where he comes from. Redacted boy tries to call himself anything but redacted now, and his name is ripped from his throat, a redacted hallelujah, a redacted battle cry. A dream deferred becomes a redacted future, which leads to a redacted rage, which fuels a redacted movement. And a redacted mother's cries don't fall easy on white ears, so it also becomes redacted grief, a redacted funeral, where redacted preacher praying over a redacted body to an equally redacted God. We cover ourselves with redacted clothing to mourn. And look how exposed the redacted body becomes in the most vulnerable of moments. How we pour ourselves out a redacted river, and white America still swims in our blood. A redacted boy knows this, so he softens himself, or tries to become the darkest night so at least all the other stars can shine a little brighter. Redacted boys hold galaxies between their palms. When we die, we supernova into redacted holes devouring all the light. Redacted boy knows this and does everything he needs to do to survive, and still he will die a redacted death. Of course, redacted boy knows this too and keeps writing his redacted stories, hopes that one day they will stop being considered redacted and just be considered good, just like the redacted boy, so full of light despite being told he was always empty of it. Redacted boy knows this and keeps living, keeps loving, keeps smiling with all his teeth, not redacted, but anchored bone, pearly white and shiny, the only thing about him considered innocent enough not to remove. Okay, give it up for the poet or whatever. Judges, that was your sacrificial poet of the round. Make sure you send those scores to the Hip Hop Prophet. Lit, that was our sacrificial poet. Y'all are ready, the drill. We are just going to get right into it. So on deck, we have Nicole, but give maximum love to the first poet of the second round. Give it up for Javi.
Woo!
Hello, can you hear me? Yes, no. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Hear your beautiful voice.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have drank all that. It's okay. Who else but queers know how to be straight right? Before I was me, I was straight. I knew how to sit, legs parted, the loudest thing in the room. I could look a girl straight in the eyes and say with the conviction of a preteen, hey, nice light up Skechers. I started drinking only when a boy offered me a shot, and of course I fell drunk into his arms. There is a furious romance between queerness and liquor, how they kiss the softest of us. A forgotten didn't wake up without all of me still here. Rumor has it, I hold a boy's hands in the air in between our palms curdled into a cold spot. Poltergeist comes from the German word polter, meaning to create disturbance, and geist, meaning ghost. Queer kid creates a controversy just by standing there. The audacity of existing between folk and cautionary tale. Diet homophobe says, you don't act that gay, like it's a compliment. And I wonder, how can I not be queer enough if I'm still alive? What ugly defiance to be here anyways. Queerness is just being wanted hard enough to stay. We're all stupid magicians pulling at the whole of us, trying to trick someone into loving what's left, like it's a chore to clean out a closet full of curdled milk. You leave a child in a cramped room long enough and the walls either cave in or expand. It's called survival. It's called an ossuary of a dead kid's wishes. The overture of a childhood sounds like a video of two naked men kissing on mute. You learn how to erase whatever leaves a web trail and a shadow, so your own mouth is the next logical step. Remember when we started saying no homo? Suddenly there was a new phrase for the unwanting of queers. I could finally look longingly into a man's eyes without fear. I say, yes, homo. I say, I love you, like it is the queerest thing I know, because it is. To love myself, how fucking gay. To hold something in your mouth like it consumes you. Yes, I do have to be this gay all the time, or I'll die. You know, I'll die whether or not I'm queer, so why would I not want a wake full of faces of those who loved me? When I come out, I don't give a fuck if you accept it. I don't offer myself to anyone other than myself. When queer pours out of me, it is a declaration, not a plea. I am not being loud. I'm just trying to queer myself better. That's it.
Give it up for the poet. All of the gangs and the gangs and the gangity gangs. Yeah. I do believe we're waiting on a score for the sacrifice. If not, I apologize. The chat doesn't update as fast as I would like it to. But make sure you send your scores for Javi to Profit. Make sure you do that. Always make sure you do that. But on deck, we have Damani, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Nicole Tracy.
Woo-hoo!
Unsolicited advice on how to tell your partner you have been through hell. You can't forget to breathe. Exhaling is a part of breathing. You are allowed to leave or stay based on their reaction. If they ask if they can hold your hand, stay. If they hand you tissues as you cry, stay. Know that this is the kind of love you deserve but didn't get from someone else. If they bloviate a long, sympathy-filled apology, look at you with pity, and you shrink, exhale, don't regret telling them, but leave. If they ask where someone left bruises and they leave new ones, don't marvel at the color your arm changed, exhale and leave them. If they ask what you did to provoke them, do not answer, leave them, exhale. If they are jealous, all of your poems are about someone who hurt you, smirk, tell them they are in a poem now. Do not stay for the material, leave them. Be proud of yourself for recognizing signs of an unhealthy relationship. Be proud of yourself for being brave enough to leave. Know that it is not easy, but it is the right decision. Doing what is best for you is not selfish. Do not blame yourself. You should not have known better. No parent gives you a guide on leaving an abusive partner. You learn as you go, you grow, you breathe, you exhale, you move forward. It is okay to have complicated feelings about the past. It is okay to smile about your first date. Remember why you were happy with him for a while. You know it was not all bad, that they are not an all bad person. But there is no excuse for hurting someone they claim to have loved. No number of good dates makes up for the pain you still feel. Some days it hurts more than other days. Remember, it is not your fault. It never was. It never will be. Inhale, exhale. Try and be the best thing for yourself. Write without knowing where it will go, but knowing you will feel better at the end of it. Inhale, exhale. Remember, you are safe in your writing. You are safe here now.
Yes. Woo! Keep that round of applause
Woo,
going.
woo, woo.
Yes. And so our sacrifice got a 27.7 and Javi got a 28.2, but fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry. I don't know why my voice went up like that, but we're gonna roll with it because fuck it. Lit, we are going to power through this second round because on deck we have D Soul, but give maximum love to our next poet coming up in the second round. Give it up for Damani.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I ask my non-Black friends about the limits of allyship and interracial relationships. One says, I've never been in one, but I don't think there is a limit. The other only dates Black people. I think about the difference between love and a fetish. I think about the labor that goes into making someone love you. One ex assaulted me a handful of times. I gave them forgiveness. They gave me a guilt trip. Another had a family member pass. I offered my condolences. I tell them Black people are dying in a pandemic. They said, thank you. I trade grief for grief. I hold space for the funeral. I survivor's guilt at the protest. I survivor's guilt during the victory parade. Someone my great-grands might have known was martyred for this win. I know Black death is just whatever anger can be taken out on someone today. I feel this, and the closest name I can find for this feeling is depression. I watch myself die in alternate universes. I watch my city go to war. I try and save the casualties. I get third-degree burns and my arm boils. My allies stay home. My allies say stay safe. My allies retweet one GoFundMe and grow exhausted. I still do the dirty work of holding a community and ask what's wrong. They nude my timeline bleach. They vacation for days. They say Black Lives Matter until Coachella opens up. They believe in equality until pomegranate mimosa brunches are a thing again. I have not resolved being Black and asthmatic during a pandemic. I am still someone's child wanting whiteness to call me a boy. My non-Black friends ask me to think about my relationship to white men and white passing privilege. I say, I am Black and queer. I know whiteness like a cavity with no health care. I think about inheritance the same way I do genetics. White kids get handed the earth. Non-Blacks get whatever they can take in the crossfire. I get a bloodline's to-do list. All my action items include taking back the world. I think about allyship on the way to the store, in the shower, during my happiest moments. Do you know what it feels like to see color, like in a survival way? To ask yourself, will they look for me if I go missing? Will they show up to the march? Am I love or a Pornhub fantasy? But anyway, I've noticed something. The world is in flames and Black women bend over backwards while white women do yoga.
Give it up for Damani. We are still waiting on a score for Nicole. Judges, please make sure that you send, try to have your score sent to Prophet before the end of the poem. That just makes it easier for timing purposes. Thank you, Nicole. We will get your score in just a couple minutes. Don't you worry. But before we move on, I want to shout out the other events that we run. We're not the only event. Our part of Rich Oak events, there are 3 events that are part of the Rich Oak family currently. Yours truly, the Berkeley Poetry Slam, every Wednesday right here on whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you're watching us on. We're here every Wednesday. We also have the Oakland Poetry Slam every 3rd Tuesday on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Check out us for more information. And we also have the Alchemy open mic every 1st and 3rd Saturday exclusively through Instagram Live. So you should check us out as well. You can always check out any of our Instagram or Facebook pages for more information. Lit. So on deck, we have Dog Days Are Over, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for D Soul.
Woo! Woo!
Mic check.
Mic works.
Contrary to popular belief, wolves, keepers of the night and forest and other things niggas avoid, do not actually howl at the moon. A wolf's howl can be many things: a rallying cry, a marking of territory, a way to let their pack know that they are still trying to find their way back. Humans, of course, have been unable to mind their business since some 11 billion years ago, and have made up in their heads what these animals must be crying for. A wolf howls for safety, or joy, or something we haven't thought to ask, and humans say they must be asking for the moon, something impossible, not the light to lead it home or out of danger. Now, let's say wolves is niggas, since niggas be apex predators, be the most dangerous game, be the biggest things minding they business with the nerve to laugh all they ancestors. Contrary to popular belief, niggas, keepers of joy and magic and other things they've been denied, do not actually howl for black supremacy. A nigga's howl can be many things. The way my uncles yell in the middle of a game of dominoes, the way we scream after our friend has dragged us to hell, the sound of my mother scolding me for not being inside after the streetlights come on. Another of us is killed in the news or in the next street over, and niggas howl for what we should have had in the first place. Niggas howl, and we are told what we want is impossible, that we should be happy with what we got, that the hunters are a natural part of the forest, that it is our fault for dying and not their fault for killing us, that if we didn't want them in our hoods, we should have never shown our teeth. And all I'm saying is, when niggas howl, we are asking to enjoy cookouts without someone asking if we should be there. We are asking that when we leave for the night, we return with our whole pack in our arms. When niggas howl, we are not asking for the moon. We are asking for a chance to see it again tomorrow. Thank you.
Give it up for D Soul. Yes. Yes. I don't have any more announcements, so we're gonna keep it moving. So on. Oh no, I do have announcements. Scores. Nicole got a 28.1. Damani got a 27.7. Again, fuck the scores. These are 30s. What the hell? I'm unbiased. That's not me. But yeah. It's not about the points. It's about the poetry. All the poetry has been fire. The poetry will be continue to be on fire because on deck we have our last poet of the slam. But give maximum love to our penultimate poet, which I checked on Google this time. It does mean second to last. Give it up for Dog Days Are Over.
Woo!
Woo!
Oh, whiteness, how you invert me into tri-split salt pillars each time, then demand I dissolve back into your oceanic limbs. Oh, whiteness. How inadvertent of you to unintentionally rebirth me as I am unmade, with drowning upon drowning. Every screamless bubble from my throat becomes an infinite hive of unresolved cadences, becomes broken body elegies, submerge potentiality. And so I trick myself to re-become anything body-like, reinvert my sodium into calcium, to attempt alchemizing me into bone, but still too ivory to be crowned marginally skeleton in your pale pupils. Oh, why am I next in line to crown you margin ally skeleton in your kind's pale pupils? Oh, whiteness, why are you so obsessed with race? I'm not the fucking one drowning enough brown spines to messiah us to an American oasis, then call out wetback, and not the one naming brown after my brow, stale sweat, and misnaming us colonizer like Spanish person in custody, when every policed jail cell threshold mouth screams louder than undocu children cry, quieted under America's right wing. The left wing tokenizes me so gilded, I become treasure box full of medallions, holding a brown bomb in my throat. It's white wick cockloaded to scream spic, S-P-I-C, Spanish person in custody. The wicks, every twined hair always prepared to ignite itself to combust me into shrapnel. Right wing, left wing, same fucking bald eagle with a meadow of brown scalp graveyards under every golden feather. Oh, white Loch Ness. In response, I scream, subjugated person, imploding cathedrals, SPIC, all the manifest destiny, groaning Armageddons when I stone all the stained glass. For stoning my stained glass heart, queers too. Oh, unhighness. In response, I scream, my maize, corn-blooded people, thorn-crowned you their unmessiah, and so you cruciform their bodies aflame. And so I wildflare inferno, every unbible to uncathedral, the sour bread of Christ to un-KKK, all the staled wine spilled for melanated blood. I scream out what you did, kill, kill, kill. I scream for those who still cannot with honeywood skin, a whiteness, divineless God. Amen.
Give it up for Dog Days Are Over. Gang. And D-Soul got a 29 even. Again, fuck the scores, fuck the points. It's about the poetry. On deck, we have finding out who won, and then going. I mean, we should. I hope you are. You better be already at home. Yeah, on deck we have the end of the show, but give maximum love, and I do mean maximum love, to our last poet of the night. Give it up for my...
Woo!
I don't see them in the Zoom. Reggie, I don't see them in the Zoom. So, yeah.
Oh no.
I think they might have like disconnected or something.
Oh no. Did I disconnect?
Yeah, maybe.
That's not fair. Hold on.
And it is at the last, at the end of the slam, so we can't move them.
I'm sorry, come back next week. I hate it when technical difficulties and disconnecting. Technology. Everybody say fuck technology for me.
Fuck technology.
Fuck technology.
Gang. So I'm just gonna wait on those little scores from Profit. Dog Days Are Over. You got a 27.7. Lit. Oh, is my video not started? LOL. Y'all can't even see my beautiful face. I don't know what happened. So yeah, lit. Gang, while I'm waiting for these scores, did you know that I'm trying to figure out like what are we next week. I can talk about next week. Next week we have another slam right here on Wednesday, same place, same time. You should sign up, look out for that list coming soon. But our feature is going to be Akeem Alaj. I don't know if you know, but like, you finna learn. I mean, nothing big, just like an iWhips champ or whatever, one of the most recent ones, but that's not anything big or whatever, that's just no, it's huge. It's bigger than anything I've ever done. So you should definitely come out and see like what the best the world has to offer, because the best the world has to offer is featuring at our show, and I'm so fucking excited, and you should be excited too. I am still waiting on these scores. Trying to figure it out. I don't know. Trying to figure it out. I don't know. Lit. I think I got the list. So I don't know if you know this, but poets were not competing for fame. They were not competing for glory. I guess that's included in the like package, but they were competing for not cold hard, but like soft and digital cash, American cash. So we give prizes to the first, second, and third place winners. So I'm gonna need a drum roll. And I'm pretending that there's a drum roll because I just realized my black ass is on Zoom. But in third place, let me just look real quick. In third place with a 57.2, give it up for Damani. Speech. Say something to people.
Thank you. This is my first time back slamming in like a month and a half. I didn't edit or time those pieces, so I'm glad they worked out. Thanks, America.
Hey. I think that's the first time I've ever heard you thank America for anything.
I take it back.
Wait, but I was here to celebrate this glorious day. And I never thought I'd get to see Damani thanking America. But yes, thank you, most importantly, Damani, for your words. I need another drum roll. I'm gonna just imagine it in my head. This one I'm imagining slightly larger than the last one. In second place with a 57.7, give it up for Hobby.
Woo!
Come on.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you. Here's my cat. Oh, well, I was gonna show my cat, but she ran away. Everything she runs away from me, just like my dad. Just kidding. Thanks for listening to poetry. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else.
Thank you, Javi. And cats, am I right? Yes. All right. So now I need the biggest drum roll of your life. Like, I kind of want to feel like it's an earthquake, like the big one, like, cause I'm in the band, always scared about that shit. In first place with a 59.0, give it up for your winter. I said winter. Who am I, Medea? Give it up for your winter tonight. Give it up for D Soul.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. I also have not slammed in almost a month. I've been doing a lot of things this summer. Speaking of which, I have a chapbook coming out soon.
You have a what now?
A chapbook.
A bat book?
Yes. It is coming out September 28th is when I'm going to release it. It's called Renotation Sites. This is the, the proof version.
Oh, look at that cover though. Okay, cover.
My friend designed it. I was so happy. I had the honor of Damani.
Are those shoes on a telephone wire?
It is.
Oh, I love Black people so much.
I had the honor of Damani being one of the people to review it. So if you need someone to co-sign it, hopefully Damani could back me up. Or not, he might think it's trash in behind the scenes, but he gave me a good blurb, so it's fine. But anyway, really appreciate this. Appreciate y'all, and have a good one. You can find it on my website or in my Instagram, Diesel Poetry. Cool.
Hey, shout out to Chatbooks and like publishing things. Shout out to friends giving blurbs for your books. But yes, congratulations. Give a round of applause for Damani, for Javi, for Diesel, and every single person who touched this virtual stage tonight. Like, I want to hear y'all like scream, shout, wake up the neighbors.
Hey. Hell yeah.
Oh, also the feature was amazing. Just wanted to say that.
The poetry was amazing.
Yes.
Everybody fucking killed it. We had an amazing feature. It was a great night, but that night is now over. So yeah, y'all at home, go to bed. Because that's what I'm going to do right after I smoke another blunt. Y'all have a wonderful night. We will see you here next week for the Berkeley Slam virtual edition featuring Akeem Olaj.
And this Saturday.
Oh, and this Saturday, Alchemy open mic. It's gonna be super lit. You should really tap in, hop on that mic. But we will see y'all on Saturday for our open mic and next week for our next slam. Stay inside, wear a mask, vaccinate your fucking kids, and we will see y'all next week. Bye.